So fans are not happy about Bronny James at all. Like, in fact, I would say some of these fans are furious about Bronny James. And the reason is, it's a bit of a weird one, and I'm actually going to defend Bronny James in this scenario. I don't necessarily think it is his fault. I don't think it's his fault, but the reason is that he did not play G League games to sit on the bench with the NBA team. And people are not happy. So, Bronny James, says here, he faced heat from fans. He skips out Mexico City G League games. Bronny James faces career crisis. And this is the funniest article I've read. The Lakers have signed his replacement. The arrival of Dorian Finney-Smith could mark the end of Bronny's NBA aspirations. First of all, Dorian Finney-Smith is 8 inches taller. I was about to say they don't play the same position, but they actually do play the same position. That was just a funny old article that I read, that Dorian Finney-Smith is going to stop Bronny James' chances in the NBA. But the reality of the situation is that Bronny James he's not going to play every game for the G League. He's not a G League player. And they played games in Mexico City after he played a bunch of G League games. But, he's going to play with the NBA team. He's going to be with the NBA team quite a bit. Even though, he's clearly not good enough for the NBA team. But he has done enough in the G League now that a lot of people are like, you know what? Yeah, he's an NBA player. It was all, for me, his G League stint and him playing away games was just, he played enough in the G League so that people could argue, okay, yeah, he's doing it in the G League. Let him be up with the main team. The reality is he just was chucking. He chucked in the G League until he got enough good counting stats, like a near negative assist to turnover ratio while shooting effectively 30, 20, 60 shooting splits. Good counting stats because he was on the floor so much and had the ball in his hand so much that his counting stats look good, but he won't be back for the G League for a while. But it says, you can see here, fans were really disappointed that he chose to remain with the Lakers main roster, sitting on the bench against the Portland Trailblazers instead of traveling with the G League team. They played on 3rd and 4th and were marketed as a marquee event, with tickets selling rapidly amid speculation Bronny would play. Marketing a game that Bronny was never going to play, with Bronny playing. If the South Bay Lakers did that, or if somebody did that, it's on them. It's not on Bronny James. The reality is, again, look, Bronny James will never play another meaningful game of basketball in his life. Bronny is a below average G League player. And if you want to say, look at these stats, I'm sorry, if you allow almost any G League guard to shoot the ball as much as Bronny James did, they will score more points, have more assists, and probably less turnovers than Bronny. Not a terrible defender, though. I'll give him that. He is a mediocre NBA level defender, but he's a poor G League offensive player. And to make the NBA at the level of offense that Bronny James is at, you need to be one of the best defenders in the entire league, which he's not. But obviously, family legacy being a main draw, social media platforms from outcome from disappointed fans. One fan said he's the biggest draw for a G League team, and I said the burden of G League rests on Bronny's shoulders, just like his dad with the NBA. Bronny getting blamed already. One sarcastic fan, we needed him to play those garbage minutes in the Hawks game. I'd be pissed too. Alright, it's not really Bronny's fault. I agree with that. He's technically not a G League player. There's no saying whether he'll be at a game or not. I think he'll be at very few G League games the rest of the year. So you can see here, he's averaged an impressive 14, 4 rebounds, 4.2 assists. Again, let's not forget that he's averaging almost as many turnovers, assists, and he is doing it on some of the worst shooting splits of any high volume shooter in the G League. He's also the standout performance scoring career high 30 points. He was great that game. I'll admit that he was great that game. That was a superb game. Despite his struggles and limited NBA action, he's averaging 0.2 points on 12.5% shooting. It's gone down to 11.1% shooting. He missed his next shot. And that's just the reality of the situation, is that fans were really upset about Bronny James not playing this game. Look, he's not going to. And I get it. People just want to watch Bronny play basketball. And I think Bronny himself just wants to play basketball. I think him playing the away games in the G League was good for him. I think him playing more in the G League is going to be good for him. And look, the G League is a development league. They're going to put the ball in his hands and try to see if he's improving. I don't think he did. I really don't think he did. He just was, again, he was shooting more, or at least a similar amount to Quincy Olivari, who was out when he was averaging 25 points a game, and he was averaging like 14 while shooting a similar-ish amount. So I don't really know when it comes to Bronny. Like, that's just my whole thing. I'm like, I don't really know with him where he really is going to go. I think he's just going to stick in the NBA until LeBron retires, probably with the main Lakers team. Continue to play his garbage time, his 2 minutes against the Hawks and 0 minutes against the Portland Trail Blazers. And then I give him a year in the G League once LeBron retires. And after that, I think I can see him retiring. I don't see it being likely that he has a long basketball career. Like, I don't think anyone here is gonna argue that he's gonna have a long NBA career, because he's just not that level of player. I'm just not entirely sure that he's gonna have honestly a long basketball career in general, which is something. But look, Bronny's shown that he can hold his own to G League, and I think that's all the Lakers wanted. The Lakers wanted him to have good counting stats because it shuts up all the narrative of he doesn't belong. No matter how bad he is in the NBA, there's always a narrative of, just like, in fairness, what the narrative was with Thanasis. That, you know what, when Thanasis was in the G League, he was one of the best defense players in the G League, which is the truth. So the reality is that the Lakers can now say, look, we put him in the G League and he was balled out, so he's good enough. It stops the whole nepotism, Bronny's the worst player, and I do fully still believe he's the worst player in the NBA, but it stops all that narrative. But fans being disappointed when he's not at G League games, you can't expect him to be at a G League game. Heck, he wasn't even going to play in away games until about 3 weeks ago. You can't expect him to be at a game in freaking Mexico, of all places. You can't expect him to go to a different country to play when he wasn't even meant to be leaving his city. Like, he wouldn't even leave. He would not leave Los Angeles. He wouldn't go to even San Diego. San Diego was too far for him to go at one point. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys disagree with this? If you guys disagree, as always, that is perfectly fine. We do talk basketball. Not everyone has to agree with every single topic about this sport. But yeah, Bronny, we got to give our weekly Bronny James update, I guess, if we're being honest. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.